Hello YouTube, welcome to my video. I decided to learn every Brimstone lineup in Valorant, and the question you probably have is, why? Why would you do that? And the answer is because I'm insane. Alright, so let's start on Ascent. I'm going to be doing every single map, and all of the maps will be timestamped, so say hypothetically you don't want to watch this entire video in one run, you can just go back and watch the segments that you need to learn the map at the time that you need to learn it. Ideally rewatching the video over and over again, leaving likes, comments, and subscribing every time you do so. That'd be great. So, let's get into it. First lineup of the video.
Right here.
Right here. That corner. Put your crosshair right up there, where it kind of goes beige. As long as you're right near that corner,
right here,
you should be okay.
Molly.
Just gonna hit a nice lineup. Lands right by boxes. The next one, put yourself into
right here,
this corner. And you're gonna wanna look for this AC box right over there on that wall, and then to the top left of that. Super easy. That's where you wanna put your crosshair.
Molly.
And you need to be accurate this one, because you're going like just over that handrail. If you do right, a satisfying incendiary burn right where the bomb is. Okay, next up, who knows? Put yourself into this corner. You're going to want to swing to the right just until you can see this next AC unit. Keep in mind what I'm doing here. We started over by spawn, right?
Right here.
And we have one for right here.
Right here.
And now I got one for right here.
Right
so
here.
I'm just trying to have angles from like, you know, everywhere you could be playing from. Right? So over here from CT spawn, you're going to want to aim up at the duct above the AC unit over there. Right there.
Molly.
And once again, nice bounce off of that wall. And good molly onto the bomb. Okay, let's head over to A site. A site is objectively harder. The reason is because there's no giant wall to bounce things off of, so you're relying off of the trajectory of the molly, which requires a higher degree of precision as compared to like a ricochet, your default molly.
Right here.
Tuck yourself into this corner, and then look at that fracture in the sky right there. Now, this is a tool that I'm going to be using throughout the video, the tip of the flame of the molly icon. You see that tip of the flame? That is what I'm going to be using to line up a majority of these shots, right? Especially when there's nothing to bounce off of. So take the tip, and then you're going to want to line it up with, you see this fracture in the sky? Right below it. Right below it, there's that intersection between these bricks. That's where you want to put the tip of your molly flame.
Molly!
Just a hair above that intersection. And that will get you a nice molly over to generator. Next lineup, same spot, different fracture. So now let's go to this one, and then right where the wall meets the sky, that's where we want to put
molly.
Our molly. Using the same tool to line it up as we did with the one before. That gets you a nice molly for boxes. Now, only thing is, with this setup,
right
you're
here,
very vulnerable to an A main push, especially in like a 1v2 situation. So I have this one for motorcycle, just in case. And what you can do here is you see that nut on that little pipe, aim just to the left of it. As long as you're within this area, you should be okay. Aim right there. And you need a very
molly.
High degree of precision. So I like to have ricochets, but it's just not possible for this map. See how much that changes it? I changed my crosshair placement less than a few pixels, right? It's crazy. This last lineup is from heaven. Let's say you're trolling your game as usual. You're flanking through mid or something, or you just find yourself in an odd post-plant scenario where you're heaven. A good lineup from here is just put yourself into this corner. You're going to want to look at this floating column. And then right on the dark side of this column, just put your crosshair just right there. And
molly.
That's going to get you a nice lineup onto generator. Oh, beautiful. Just bounces off of that. Okay, yeah, and that's going to cover it. So you should be in a pretty good scenario to handle 90% of post plants on this map. Let's get to the next map. All right, the next map in the competitive map pool is going to be Fracture. And let's start us off on B site. The first one, just put yourself
right
in this
here.
corner near spawn. Keep in mind, the further you are away from the site, the less pressure you're going to be exerting on the site, the less you're going to be helping your team. So lineups are not always the best play. and lineups that can bring you closer to site are more dangerous because you can be pushed more easily, but they're going to allow you to help your team more. Keep that in mind. Alright, so this first molly. You're going to want to put the tip of your molly icon right there in that dark area. Right there.
Right here.
Is the tip of the icon, and that should get you
Molly.
a nice lineup onto this little box over here. Nice. And that's going to be your default lineup from spawn. Gotta have one, you know what I mean? This next one, I'm just going to wander over a little bit closer to sight, right? And then you can also hold this one from long, which is what it's good for. You want to find this weird leaf, right? At the stem of this weird leaf, just put your crosshair.
Molly.
Don't hit the wall.
Molly.
Just put your crosshair on the stem of the leaf, and it's going to land nicely right there. Good thing about this is that's good for
Right here.
a plant over there, and it's close to your lineup. Right, your lineup
Right
is
here.
over here. You can hit it and then go over here to play post plant. All right, next up we have some mollies for generator. This is again, say you're trolling your team flanking mid. Don't want to be completely useless. Just put your
Right here.
Brimstone right in this corner, and then what you're looking for is to line up with that. You're gonna want to aim then this gray thing. Just put yourself in here, hit a little jump.
Molly.
That should give you a nice molly for Cubby. Same spot, put yourself right here. And then what you're gonna want to do is take the bottom of this chamfer on that building on the x-axis, and then take the outside line on the z-axis, find where they would intersect right there, right there,
Right here.
right, and that's where you're gonna aim your crosshair
Molly.
to hit a nice lineup on the boxes. Beautiful. And then we got a slightly more technical lineup from this spot. You're just gonna put your Brimstone right here and aim right below that white dot in these leaves.
Molly.
Right below that gap. Done correctly. Hit a nice lineup into that corner. Alright, some other things you need to know about B-side on Fracture. To hit Cubby from
Right
elbow,
here.
just gotta aim right below that thing. So,
Molly.
super simple. Get you a nice molly over there. And then to hit boxes,
Right
you
here.
just need to aim as close to this side of the wall as you can.
Right here.
Right at that line.
Molly.
Get you a nice molly over there. You can aim a bit higher, but you don't want to mess with that, so be careful.
Molly.
A bit higher will get you a bit further. On this last one, gonna be in arcade, so keep in mind what I'm doing here. You know, you have a lineup from
Right
here, here, lineup from
Right here.
and over here.
Right here.
We're trying to like surround B-side with lineups. So plant your thick brimmy on this particular fern, and look up, find this plant in the sky. Look for these two dead leaves. Right in between those dead leaves.
Molly.
There you go. And that's going to hit deeper in the cubby like you want it to. Next one, same fern, the familiar fern. And you're just going to want to put your crosshair in between the second and the third leaf on that. I'll call it the alignment fern.
Molly.
And that should give you a nice lineup for, I forget, boxes. Alright, so those are your two lineups from arcade. And with it is the conclusion of B-site. Let's head over to A. This is another scenario where A-site is objectively harder because there's not as much to bounce it off of, so you're relying on the trajectory, right? First one, put your tip of your molly icon
Right here.
right on that white dot on the wall. If you do so,
Molly.
you will get a nice molly lineup for default plan. Nice. Also to note from satellite, we do the same thing from right here, just aiming at this slanted wall. We're a slanted wall on this wall where the light gray meets the dark gray.
Molly.
Right there. Get you a nice molly lineup for the same thing. Now, moving over to this spot, we have
Right
a few
here.
lineups. First one, molly icon in the middle of that square.
Right here.
Right there. That's where you want to put it.
Molly.
This will get you a very satisfying and difficult to find lineup. right under that balcony. And you can't stand there and defuse it, don't worry. I've tried. Okay, next lineup from this spot. Go right here. Tip of your molly again. Right above the intersection of these buildings.
Molly!
Sky. And that should get you a
Right
lineup
here.
for over here. In case it's planted for mid. Perfect. One secret I'm going to tell you about A site is that you can actually hit the bomb
Right
over
here.
here if you're standing over here. Your teammates are going to be yelling at you like, oh, I don't think you can hit the bomb, but you can. Just look at this steel header. You're going to want to aim right
here
on that header, just to the right of that wall. If you do so, you'll get a nice lineup that looks
Molly.
like this. It's barely bouncing past the wall. It covers the corner nicely. All right, so far we have lineups from dish,
Right here.
from whatever
Right
that
here.
is. We have lineups from here,
Right here.
one from there. Now let's head over to spawn
Right here.
and finish off fracture. The first one, put your brimmy in this corner and put the tip of your molly flame right below this little gusset for that conduit. Just aim
Right here.
there with the tip of your molly flame,
Molly!
and that's gonna give you a nice molly. Oh yeah, just bounces right under there into that. Over here, additionally, I have a couple more. One, tip of the molly flame into this intersection, right there,
Molly!
and that's going to do some weird stuff and land right there. It's planted for mid. Okay, I made this one most recently in the middle of filming the first attempt of this video. You just want to put your icon right there. Tip
Right
of the
here.
molly right there. And
Molly!
that's going to give you a very satisfying molly lineup. For default play. Very nice. Okay, so that's it. That's wrapped up Fracture. We're getting through these. This isn't that bad. Let's go to the next map. Alright, let's head over into Haven. Haven is going to be one of my favorite maps for this. And you may think it's got 3 sites. You need to know, 33% or 50% more lineups. But that's true. But these lineups are really easy all across this map. It's because you have those leaning towers of bismuth to help align your shots. Alright, so let's start on A site. Your default spawn molly lineup. You're going to want to look up, find this tree, find that little hole in that leaf, and in that little crevice, that's
Molly!
where you're going to want to put your crosshair. Your worst enemy on A site is those
Right here.
boxes. Just make sure you're to the left of those boxes. And you're going to get a nice lineup onto default plane. Secondly, put yourself on top of these sandbags using the tip of your molly. You're going to want the x-axis of that bismuth column and the y-axis of that bismuth column. And on this site, because of these boxes right here, hold on. On this site, what is going on? Because of these boxes right here,
Right here.
you want to err with the side of the left so you don't hit them. So I'm just going to go up here, a bit to the left.
Molly!
And that should get me a nice
Right here.
molly for over there. Beautiful. And the last one from a main. Super simple, allows you to put pressure on the point. You're vulnerable to an 8-bush as always. Just put yourself here. You're going to want to aim at that spot, that general area.
Molly!
If you do that, get a good lineup for over there. And you can jump or move forward if you need to land a bit further. Alright, let's head into Heaven. There's a simple lineup for Heaven. All you gotta do is just put yourself as safe as you can against this back wall, crouch, aim for that
Right
box
here.
right there.
Molly!
It's a great lineup in case you find yourself in Heaven for some reason, or it's a good counterplant lineup. From short, unfortunately, there's nowhere to shoot up, so not really any lineups from short, but what you can do is aim for
Right
that
here.
spot right there,
Molly!
and you'll get a nice lineup where you need it to be. If you need it shallower, I believe you just aim up higher.
Molly!
Yeah. Those are both good lineups for short. Heading over to mid, we got some serious lineups over here. This one, I break one of my own rules. I have to use a different icon, but I just couldn't find anything with the tip of the molly. So what you want to do, above the molly icon, there's a mouse icon. Below that mouse icon is a little triangle that points down. At the vertex of that triangle is the point that we're going to use to line up this molly, along with that vertex
right here,
right below the shingles on the roof.
Molly!
And that should give you a nice molly lineup. Nice. Want to be set. Another one gets you closer to sight, more dangerous. What you want to do is aim at that flower right there.
Right here.
Keep in mind what the molly is actually going to bounce off of is that window frame. So you need to be very accurate along the z-axis. But
Molly.
so long as you do that, you should get a nice molly. Beautiful. Here's a little bonus lineup. Put yourself
right
into this
here.
corner. Right below this flag line, the next shingle down. And just put yourself a little bit to the left of it so you don't hit it.
Molly!
Yeah, that's what we want. This is one of my favorite lineups for this map because oftentimes I find myself throwing my own games, as usual, and I'm pushing behind them for some reason. And the bomb's freaking planted over here, and I don't know how to get a molly over there. There's this little post that comes out of... Oh, nice. Yeah, that comes out of the center of the roof there. You just put your crosshair just to the left of that. And you get a nice molly lineup right there. Very satisfying. And if you needed to go a bit further, because say it's planted for C long, just go right below it. Instead of right there, go right there.
Molly!
That gets you a nice lineup for, well, a little bit further. In case it's planted for C long. Speaking of C long, your lineups from here look like this.
Right here.
Your Brimmy in this very floral corner. And then using the x-axis of this bismuth column with the y-axis of that one, you're going to want to put the tip of your molly icon right there.
Molly!
And you'll get a molly lineup for the same spot. Beautiful.
Right
there is
here.
one for back sight in case you're in that scenario. Super easy. Tip of the molly right up against that.
Molly!
How beautiful. I think that's everything. Yeah, we got our molly lineups
Right
from
here. Right here. Right here.
See how we surrounded C site in a way? You got your lineups from mid, from
Right here.
there, and from there. And you got your A lineups
Right here.
from there,
Right
there,
here.
there, there.
Right here.
Perfect. You should be more than equipped to handle Haven as Brimstone. Let's go to the next one. Alright, the lineups get a little bit cooler over here on Icebox. I just wanted to say to everybody who's still watching this video, thank you guys so much. People who watch this far in, it really helps the YouTube algorithm put this video in front of more people. I really appreciate it. And congrats on your Brimstone grind. You're getting better as you watch. So this first lineup is for A site, starting on A site. You're just going to want to put your crosshair right there in the middle.
Molly!
Guess that it's gonna have to make sense. That actually gives you a nice satisfying lineup for your default
Right here.
spawn. Right. Next here, one thing that I always struggle with. There's actually a couple things from
Smoke's
Nest.
down.
One is consistently hitting Nest over there. The trick here is to look at where that zip line ends. If you aim where the zip line ends
Molly!
from either side,
Molly!
you'll get a nice lineup. Otherwise, it can be very hard to hit. You know,
Molly!
nice. Another thing that's always tough for me is like trying to bounce it off of generator. Your best friend here is going to be the intersection between the green and the beige, right? As long as your crosshair is directly at or 1 pixel below, you're going to be your best. You're going to be set. You can't go above though. Do that, you'll miss. This, miss, good, good. Know what I mean? Yo, why is there a bug in here? Get out of my house, bro. I gotta go deal with this. Alright, I'm back, and here to demonstrate. So, right below that,
Molly!
bounce nicely off a generator, and right there. right? So if you're standing over here on pipes, you're going to want to aim, ironically, coincidentally, right below that first pipe. Doing so will get you a nice bounce right off the top. Alright, let's head over in this direction from right here. What you're going to want to do is look at this tile right here. And as long as you have your crosshair in this quadrant of that tile, you're going to get a nice lineup on default. And this lineup's going to work for anywhere inside this square. So, very easy, very good to have in your repertoire. Nice. Going over to stairs or catwalk, the lineups get tougher. There is no consistent lineup that I could find for over here. There really isn't. Trust me, I tried.
Molly.
Trust me, I hit that. It doesn't work most of the time, I swear. So the most consistent one that I found was actually on the bottom, this line right here. Putting your crosshair right there and right above this light.
Molly.
That'll get you a nice lineup over there. Nice. Okay, so that's going to be A site. Heading over to B site, your classic default spawn is going to be in the middle of this pillar. Then you're going to want to place the tip of your molly in this gap between the lip of the container and that white sticker. Right here. That's where you want it. Got to be very precise with this one.
Molly.
Reason being, because not only are you relying on much of the parabola, but also that bounce. The bounce can go wrong easily. B site here on Icebox is objectively harder. You need to be very precise with these mollies. So that's a good one. That's your default. So here,
Right here.
coming up to here,
Right here.
or here, your best lineups are going to be just aiming right below the tip of that yellow box and
Molly.
hitting a nice lineup over there. Very easy,
Molly.
very satisfying. Heading over to here.
Right here.
I actually have a lineup for you. All you want to do is plant your Brimmy up in this corner, and then you need to put your tip of the molly icon
Right here.
just against the very outer edge of that little iridianite container.
Molly.
In doing so, you'll get a nice lineup that bounces just off the top and lands right in the middle of sight. So beautiful. Over here, making that lineup was a pain. I don't know why I made all these lineups instead of Googling them so they would stick in my head, but like some of them I don't see the lineup. I feel the pain it took to make them. Like, god dang. This one's the worst. This one's the worst. It was so hard. So, using these cables, you're just gonna follow them down up until the gray meets the white.
Right here.
On the bottom there, right? You see that?
Right here.
See what I'm doing there? Now, take the tip of your molly,
Molly.
and you'll get a nice sneak under that, over there, and into the center of sight. Gorgeous. Okay, is there anything else? You got your
Right
lineup
here.
from there, got one over there.
Right here.
From there.
Right here.
Nope, that's all I got. That's all the ones I got. Anyway, so that's going to conclude it for Icebox. Let's get into the next one. Alright, let's head into the lecture of how to be a lineup Larry on Lotus. So, this first one.
Right here.
Put your Brimmy right here, in this corner. Let's start with C-site. Next, you're going to want to find this little onion right there. Let's find the mustache around the onion.
Right here.
And put the tip of your molly right there.
Molly.
And it's not perfect, but it's the best you're going to get as a lineup for the default
Right here.
plant on C-site. One thing I found is that I end up playing right here all the time because this is the best plant
Right
spot
here.
on the map, right? So you can play from spawn. But there's no easy lineup for it. If you stand right here, you have no shot because this is in your way. So you need to use a tactic for this lineup, is to aim straight down. When you aim straight down, you're going to want to navigate yourself over to this little stone right here. Alright. Once you're on top of that stone, you just need to put the tip of your molly right against this green fern.
Right here.
Right there. And within aim block.
Molly.
It's a tough one to hit, but good to have. This map is so pretty. Nice. Get a good molly for over there. Default plant. And I love this one because you're safe behind this mound. With some practice, you can do it pretty quick.
Molly.
And then you can just go and immediately play post.
Right here.
There's a cool little molly. Not too exposed. All you gotta do is peek out and find that
Right here.
wall right there. And
Molly.
hit your molly. Get you a nice lineup into the same corner. Doing the same thing from the catwalk. Use this door frame to find the very edge of these little, I don't know what those are. Find those wooden beams, right? And then just aim right there.
Molly.
That'll get you a nice molly for close. And for far plant, you just need to find the third one and do the same thing.
Molly.
Beautiful. Let's head over to mid. Alright. Mid looks like
Right here.
placing your brimstone right there. Finding this vine right here. And going just down below
Molly.
with your crosshair. Gets you a nice lineup into default. Now if you want to hit that,
Right here.
it's going to be tougher because what you have to do is go over here,
Right here.
put your brimstone here, line them up against this door corner, which can be a bit tough. Then take not the tip of the molly this time, the Q. Place the Q right on top of that vine that's hanging its arm over the building.
Molly.
Like that. Hello. Okay. Over here, just a couple ones that are good to know. If you want to hit default plant
Right here.
there, you need to hit this spot.
Right here.
There's not a lot of room for error.
Molly.
Perfect. Need to hit there.
Right here.
Gonna want to aim right
Right
there.
here. Molly.
Beautiful. Okay. And that covers all of the lineups from mid. There's actually one more from over here. This one's cool. Using the curvature of that, aiming at that point,
Right here.
you can get a nice lineup
Molly.
over there. From A site, your default spawn molly is going to be
Right
putting
here.
your brimstone right here. And then aiming tip of your molly just above this little angle in the root. And this is going to be one of the only lineups you need for A, and I'll show you why. Because in doing so,
Molly.
you get a molly in the best spot. Right there. That's going to cover
Right
both
here.
sides of the box. Perfect. Heading into tree. To hit
Right here.
this side of box.
Right here.
You just aim at that little mouse
Molly.
on the wall. Beautiful. To hit the other side
Right
of the
here.
box, you need to aim in the center of
Right
this
here.
pillar.
Molly.
Beautiful. Okay. Heading over to spawn, say you're trolling. What you need to look for is this vine that kind of like curls over, and the leaf inside it. Tip of that leaf right there. That's what you're aiming for.
Molly.
Aiming at that gets you a nice lineup on top of box from spawn. Lotus. Let's get into. God, this map is so pretty. Let's get into the next map. What the hell? What? What happens when it ends? Okay. Alright, heading into Pearl. Let's start on B side. B long is absolutely... The thing that B long does wrong is that most of the time you're at a disadvantage. You're pushing into a site, right? But with B long, you have the high ground. So sending your team B every round is honestly the best strategy on this map. So for the first lineup on B site, put your brim right here. Next, line up your crosshair, tip of the molly,
Right here.
right there. Doing so will get you
Molly.
a molly in a desirable
Right here.
location. Nice. That's default. Now let's say one of your 4-hit teammates
Right here.
plants the bomb over there. No worries. What you want to do is different thing to line it up this time. Take the bottom of your molly icon.
Right here.
And line it up over there. Like so.
Molly.
Doing that is going to get you a nice lineup that's going to land right there.
Right here.
That's pretty good. Okay, and heading over to mid, your lineups for here are going to be behind this box. Put your Brimmy in that corner. For the first one, place your
Right here.
tip of the molly in the middle of this poor turtle's fin. Oh, that's a shuttle crab. My bad. Not a turtle. Right there.
Molly.
A scuttle crab, whatever it's called. Nice. For the second one, you just need to find where the handle changes color.
Right here.
On that crate right there. Tip of the molly right there.
Molly.
And it'll get you a nice lineup for that spot. Gorgeous. All right. So heading
Right
into
here.
heaven. Super simple. Just a couple bounces. Look off of
Right here.
Right. Should be nice and defended. Aim your molly right. Aim your crosshair right at that.
Molly.
Get a nice bounce over there. And to hit there, it looks like aiming at
Right
this
here.
line down the middle.
Molly.
Like so. Alright, fantastic. Alright, on A site, your default spawn molly, the one you're go-to basically,
Right
is
here.
to plant your Brimmy in this corner, right next to those lovely pink flowers, and put the tip of your molly
Right here.
right there.
Molly.
There you go. Should get you a nice lineup. Right over there. Beautiful. Heading into mid.
Right here. Right
I
here.
promise you I looked for a long time. The best one I could find is to smoke yourself off from
Launching
inside
smoke.
and to try to hit that wall.
Right here.
So if you aim
Right here.
there,
Molly.
it'll bounce off of that wall nicely. And right where the bomb should be. From Cubby. Anti-plant perhaps. Or just anti-defuse.
Molly.
And that tile. Get the molly where you want it. And from spawn or backside, aiming not at that tile, but at that one,
Molly.
we'll do the exact same thing. Anyway, that's gonna about cover it for Pearl. Wow. Congrats on your grind, you're almost done. Let's head into the last map, Split. Alright guys, congrats. You made it all the way to the end of the video. Let's finish off this last map, and we'll get into conclusions about how to use this in game, and to answer the question, is it worth it, right? Is it worth going through the hassle of learning all these lineups? So, your first lineup. Take the edge of that little sky beacon right there. Find the edge of that roof.
Molly.
Get a nice molly lineup. Right there. Beautiful. Same spot. By the way, if you want it to land a little bit shallower, just aim a bit higher. Next, we have this lineup. Just aim right there.
Molly.
Same corner, by the way. Then that should get you a nice molly.
Right here.
Planter, I guess is what that's called. And then lastly, over here, a little bit tough because you have that glass ceiling. But to break through that proverbial barrier, you just need to find a clever lineup. So, all you gotta do is go over here. Oh no, go over here, where that line kind of dies off in the sky. Swing it over to the roof,
Molly.
and shoot your molly. Beautiful. You're having lineups. Looking pretty good. This first one, you're going to want to be standing right around here. And you're going to want to take that point right there. Just swing over to that gray line. Right? So around there.
Molly.
Should get you a nice bounce off of that side behind planter. Next up.
Molly.
We have a lineup over here. Aiming at this corner. On
Molly.
that K. Get you a nice lineup behind default. And that's gonna be it. That's gonna be it for A site. There are no lineups from here,
Right here.
unfortunately. The reason being that obelisk
Right here.
really messes things up for you. So no lineups from there. Heaven. A couple here you need to know. Right here, that little truss. Put your crosshair
Right here.
there. Anywhere from heaven, aiming right there should be fine.
Molly.
Get you a nice lineup on the default. Now, so you
Right
need to
here.
hit that. Also a very common plant spot. You need to aim the red on this side, right there.
Right here.
Aiming at that. Oh, don't do that in game.
Molly.
Get you a nice lineup over there. Beautiful. Heading into spawn. Nice and safe behind this little crate here. Just back up until you can see the same green sign. Right below it, below that roof,
Right here.
is your crosshair placement.
Molly.
Just do that.
Right here.
Nice lineup. And very similar ordeal. This little conduit right here.
Right here.
Just throw it right where it meets that wall. And turn off ghost mode.
Molly.
It should get you a nice lineup there. Beautiful. Spawn. Your lineup looks like this, finding the outermost
Right here.
speck on that wall. Doing that, taking the Q below your molly icon and placing it to the top right.
Molly.
Placing yourself in that corner.
Right here.
And getting a nice lineup onto there. One thing that sucks though is because of this,
Right
there
here.
is no lineup for
Right here.
because this blocks all of it. Last but not least, the last lineups of the video. First one, default plant spot. Just swing out a little bit, aim right above that box.
Molly.
I love this one. It's gonna explode immediately, guaranteed damage.
Right here.
That plant spot. Next up, for the other one, you're just gonna want to aim
Right here.
below that corner right there where the blue ends.
Molly.
Also, quick detonation, guaranteed damage. So,
Right here.
got your lineups from there.
Right here.
There, and
Right
on from
here.
spawn. On A site, you have your lineups from here.
Right here.
You can cover here, here, and here from spawn. You got two
Right
from
here.
heaven. Fortunately, none for screens. That's just how the map is laid out. To finish off this video and answer the question, is it worth it to learn all these lineups? Well, it really depends on your priorities. It really does, because I decided to make all of these lineups instead of doing like a YouTube tutorial, perhaps, as some might do. And in doing so, I ingrained these lineups into my brain. But it also took more time, right? Serious time investment to learn like close to 40 lineups. But at the end of the day, after I did that, I saw my competitive rank literally in less than a week go up by 2 tiers. And I was kind of hard stuck at the time, right? So one thing to note is that right after I did this, I actually went on a fat losing streak because I was trying to integrate having molly lineups into my gameplay. And one thing I'll say is that there's a difference between having a couple maps memorized and having every single map memorized and having every single site and having multiple lineups for every site. It's a difference in mentality, and the reason for that is because in one instance you might be questioning yourself like, oh, do I have a lineup for this? How do I play this? Do I play post plant? What's the situation, right? And the other one, in the other scenario, you have a lineup for everything, and that changes how you play the game. And it took me a little bit of time to integrate that into my gameplay. But once I started trusting my lineups more, and once I started getting better at how to balance, okay, I'm going to help my team clear site, but I'm not going to get greedy. I'm not going to push too far out on the site. I'm going to let my duelists handle that. I'm going to use all my util. I'm going to clear the first angles. Right after that, I'm going to fall back and play my post plant game. Right? That's kind of how you want to play it, because you got to be aware that like when you're doing lineups, you're not helping your team get kills. Right? So it's not great in every scenario, so you just need to know like how to integrate it into your gameplay. And I think that's the biggest thing for lineups here. Is it worth it? It's up to you, but yeah, I think it is. I think going up 2 ranks is definitely worth it. But it's a double-edged sword. So if you made it all the way to the end of the video, just subscribe already. Like you put what, like 30, how long is it? It's hella long. This video is so long. Like it just go subscribe. It's going to take you way less time than it took you to watch this whole video. Just do it like right now. Like, it's a little full screen, go down, hit the red button, boom, you're set. Everybody else already subbed, great. thank you so much. It really means the world to me. Like the video, comment. This is going to be probably one of the last educational videos I make for Valorant. Everything else is going to be montages and clips and gameplay and all more of that fun, high octane stuff. So I'm looking forward to being able to make that type of content for you guys. Okay,